have ADHD. Aww. And so does my husband. So naturally, we decided to make a game about it. Yay! We've always talked about joining a game jam one day and making a game together. So we signed up for the Shovel Game Jam. And the theme was, just get started. Like, bestie, I've been trying. Me and my husband both tend to struggle a lot with starting tasks. Like, our brains just go, no. So after spending hours brainstorming out a long list of other ideas, we were like, okay, let's make a game about our ADHD. Picking a concept that both of us felt really strongly about was probably the best decision we've ever made. It made coming up with ideas so much easier because it was literally just our lives. Step 1. Design. So for this ADHD game, we wanted to make sort of a task checking off time management type of system. I really wanted it to have a bit of an unhinged funny vibe to it because I always kind of wanted to try my hand at drawing butchy faces. Yes, that was literally our inspiration, butchy faces. We also wanted to have cutscenes. Just the music, we thought about adding a day-night cycle, minigames, unique ADHD features like making some tasks randomly take up more energy and having to recharge by doom scrolling, but you might get stuck doom scrolling and need to do another minigame to escape the doom scrolling. Did we end up doing all that? Oh no! I'm a full-time artist and animator, but I had barely touched pixel art up until then. And my husband was an experienced programmer, just not in game design, which is just a long way of saying this was all super new to us. But we were in game dev adjacent fields, kind of. I won't go too much into detail of the coding side of things since I was mainly just the artist that moved things around in Unity sometimes. Wow! But I did design our player character, this pink-haired girly. I put her in a little blue nightgown to give her that been in PJs all day look. Hashtag relatable. We called her Little Miss ADHD as a placeholder name, and it's still her name. Who would have guessed? Remember kids, your placeholders will end up being your finals if you're not careful. Step 2. Development. So the smaller pixel assets were easy enough to draw and animate. But trying to translate my usual art style into pixel art made me lose like 5 years of my life. The lines weren't lining. The pixels weren't pixeling. If I wanted to tilt her head a tiny bit, I had to repixel her entire face. So I ended up watching a bunch of pixel art tutorials and was shocked to discover trial and error actually comes with error. Ew! If you or a loved one is struggling with this too, the life hack I came up with is to draw your illustration normally, like on Clip Studio, and then bring it to Sprite and use the curve tool to line over it. Another thing I wasn't ready for was the sheer volume of assets I had to produce, and how much time it took to add each thing into Unity, adjusting the settings of every image so that it matched up with the project files. Every image had to be resized, renamed, repositioned, and adjusted over and over again. Hey, don't do that, kids. Import everything together as a single tile map and change the settings of the whole tile map once. So, while I was in asset hell, my husband was deep in the trenches of game dev coding hell, and somehow 10 days passed just like that, and suddenly we weren't making a silly little game for fun anymore. It felt like every day we were still making super important real game decisions, like which features to cut and what room layout to go with, what to do about the music and sound design and what font to pick. And the bugs, oh my gosh, the bugs never stopped. Every time we fixed one, 3 more would show up. I felt so bad for my husband during the last crunch hour. He was dealing with these soul-crushing, game-altering bugs, and I was decorating the game description page on itch.io like la 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 la. Step 3. Submission. Literally in the last few minutes before the deadline, we were fixing the last-minute bugs, getting our friends to play test it, finding more bugs, trying to fix those. And when we finally clicked submit, we were like, oh, that's a relief. We're done with that. But actually, we ended up submitting the older version of the development build, so the bugs were still there. Which really sucked, but we still actually published our first game ever. So here's Undiagnosed, but Something Ain't Right. A tiny, weirdly personal pixel RPG where you try to complete very important tasks before your focus bar gives up on you and you collapse. It's a little buggy, it's a little unhinged, but it's full of love, just like us. So what if we couldn't include every single feature and minigame like we wanted to? There were no cutscenes, no day-night cycle. We even ended up not having time to incorporate jumping, even though I animated it, every frame, in every direction. And the development console would show up on screen because we didn't have enough time to do a proper build. Aww. Petting the kitty gives you infinite energy. That's a bug. The focus bar would just get stuck sometimes. That's a bug. It's a bug. And no matter what direction you move her, she always ends up staring right back at your soul. That's a bug. Even with all the bugs and the missing features, I still think our game is the best game ever. And if we think about what we actually wanted to accomplish,
for this ADHD game, we wanted to make sort of a task checking off time management type of system. I really wanted it to have a bit of an unhinged, funny vibe to it because I always kind of wanted to try my hand at drawing butchy faces.
we did all that. So it's okay that the resume button doesn't work. We're super thankful to everyone who played it, left a comment, rated it, or even just looked at the page. And you should totally go check out the other jam entries too. There's only like 1,000 of them, ha ha ha. Okay, so realistically, we probably won't be winning this jam. 1,000 people is a lot of people, and everyone had super fun and interesting games. Because that wasn't the point. We made a whole game in just 10 days, and we didn't give up. And that's kind of huge for 2 people with ADHD. Maybe the brutal 10-day time limit really helped. Yay! So if you've been wanting to make a game but feel overwhelmed, just try. You don't have to be good at everything. Just be good at trying. So go sign up for the next game jam right now. Are you doing it? Good job. Bonus! Our game didn't make it on stream, but we got reviewed by the special guest judge, and she called it cute. We're gonna frame this.